Hi everybody! So today's experiment is going to be foiling with different mediums. I have my mini Mink heating up on the side over here. It's on level 3. You can hear that it's doing some clicking, and that's just the rollers inside heating up. And there have been a couple videos out with a new deco foil product, which is basically like a glue that goes down and you put it on your paper and it dries, and when you heat it up with your Mink machine or your laminator, it reactivates the adhesive and the foil sticks to it. So I thought, all right, well, I don't have any of that deco foil stuff, so what do I have in my stash that I can try to use? So the first thing I have here is some Modge Podge, and then I tried some Elmer's Craft Bond spray adhesive, transparent gloss texture paste by Ranger, and Heidi Swapp reactive paint. Now I did do a video before where I took the Heidi Swapp reactive mist and I put it in a distress empty ink pad here. You can see here Mink reactive mist, and it worked okay for stamping. This does dry out. I know that there was some questions about that, so this is hard. It does dry out, but if you wanted to use this for stamping, you could use it for stamping and foiling. It does not work well on detailed images, but does work like for outline images, or if you wanted to do a background, this does work. Now I just got the reactive paint, and I wanted to show you guys the first stencil, the only stencil I used. This is a Memory Box Stars stencil. So it's not real detailed, but it's not real plain either. And I just opened this reactive mist and it came out all gooey. And you can see here, it did not work well with the stencil as well. So it basically came out real liquidy like the reactive mist. And I think that these are pretty much the same product. The reactive mist is designed to be sprayed, so it is more liquid, where the reactive paint, what I did was I put it in a little jar here and mixed it up, labeled my jar, and it is a little thicker consistency. So I think it's the same product, but I think one is a thinner consistency, one is a thicker consistency. We'll find out in a minute if they do the same thing. I know they are both designed to work with the foils. So I redid that, and you can see here how nice it came out on the stencil. Now this is almost entirely dry. It's slightly tacky, which I think is what, and I think this is going to be our best result. So we're going to save this one for last. So the one I think we're not going to have any results with is this one, the Elmer's Craft Bond. And the reason is this is completely dry now. It would probably work if it were still tacky, but this is completely dry now. And I'm just going to use a scrap piece of foil, which I have right here. So this is just a scrap piece of foil that I used before that I'm saving. And a carrier sheet, and I am just going to run that through the Mink. And I have some extra carrier sheets that I'm going to load up here. So this one is the Modge Podge. You can see it dried very nicely. This would look neat if you just wanted to sprinkle some glitter on it. Could do that. And I have some red deco foil here for this one. I'm going to do silver foil on the texture paste one. And I don't know if this is going to work or not. Hopefully it does work, because then I don't feel obligated to buy any new products, we're using stuff that we already have, which is always a good thing, and using it in a different way. Alright, so let's start with the Elmer's Craft Bond. Like I said, I don't think that this one's going to work because I don't see any real adhesive there, but I was wrong. It worked if you... Now this is a light coverage. It does work. It's kind of a distressed look, but the machine did heat up the adhesive. Now don't mind this part over here because that was a scrap piece of foil. Now it's not a complete coverage. It's very distressed looking, but that's kind of neat. I'm surprised that did work. So that just proved me wrong. Okay. Alright, this is the Modge Podge that we did in red. And you can see that it's raised there. We'll see how the coverage is. That came out pretty neat, guys. I mean, that is really full coverage. There's some spots there because I had some adhesive that had run under the stencil. But wow, that really surprised me. I did not think that was going to work, and it did. And it has some dimensions, and you can see that foil is on there. What really good coverage that is. I'm really surprised at that one, guys. All right, the texture paste. Awesome. Another amazing result. Now, the spots on there are because when I used the Craft Bond on the stencil, it was stuck on the stencil and I didn't clean it off very well. But if I hadn't, this is really cool. This came out great. Transparent or gloss texture paste, guys. Amazing. I really didn't think these were going to work this well. And then the last one is the one I think is going to come out the best. The Heidi Swapp Mink Reactive Paint. If I could get it out of the carrier sheet here. Ugh, it works so well, it's stuck to the carrier sheet. Okay, let me just pull the foil off here. Oh, and this one came out kind of messy. Really messy. First of all, it's stuck to my carrier sheet, so I'm going to have to get it off of there. But I think that because of how smooth the consistency and thinner this product is, it seeped under my stencil. And you can see when it went through the machine that the machine kind of pressed it down even more. And like I said, it probably because I didn't have it dry all the way. It seeped out. So that one actually is the worst out of the, well, second to last. So I would say in order of worst to best, the Craft Bond Spray Adhesive, not the best. Good if you want a distress look, I guess. So that would be fourth place. Third place is the Heidi Swapp Mink Reactive Paint because it seeped all over the place. It has good coverage, but maybe if I would have waited longer for it to dry, but it really just, it didn't give us a complete coverage. Should I say cleaner coverage? It was complete. It just wasn't as clean and crisp as the other products. And then I would say it is a very close tie between Texture Paste and Modge Podge. And I think because these are so thick, they held up when they were dry. So we have these two products, which really look amazing. There is complete coverage. I mean, there is not a bald spot on there. I would almost say the texture paste is probably the winner because of how crisp the lines are. I mean, if you look around these stars, those lines are really straight. Like I said, never mind the spots. That's left over from the spray adhesive. The Modge Podge did work as well, but you can see where it went under the stencil a little bit. There's a little bit of seepage there, but wow, overall, great results from Modge Podge and texture paste. So you don't have to go out and buy anything special. If you want to do foiling with your stencils, you got these two products here that'll work out great for you. I hope you enjoyed my video, guys. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more, and keep on stamping.